thanks for checking out Gig Stories. Today I wanted to try something a little different. I figured I would tell a story. And so today's story is for me, and it's about the first time I met B.B. King. It was 1993, I believe. I was 14 years old, and it was at Ruth Eckerd Hall, Clearwater, Florida. And me and my cousin went. Our parents took us. And my cousin was about a year younger than me, still is. And BB put on a great show. We had some seats and sit kind of not close to the middle, but we watched the show and it was awesome. And at the end, B.B. King was still standing back then, and he would walk out to the audience and he would throw out guitar picks, and he had these little pins that said B.B. King, and so he was throwing them out. So me and my cousin went down there to try and catch some. Didn't catch any. The show was over. So we hung out. We were looking on the floor, see if we could find a pick or something. And we looked and hung out until finally the band, everyone was gone, and the band came out and started packing up their stuff off the stage. And one of the guys slipped us a couple of picks from the stage and said, "Hey, BB is around the back if you guys want to meet him." So we were like, absolutely. So we went to the back and got in line. And those days, BB had his own bus, beautiful Prevost killer bus. And they were letting he had a handler person and a road manager, and they were letting probably 4, maybe 5 people at a time on the bus. You could get on the bus, he would sign something, take a picture. They'd unload those people. Next group of people would get on the bus. And it went on like that. So we stood in line. And I had a poster. I think he had a poster. And my cousin. And so we get on the bus. And I'm 14 years old, man. I'm skinny and hairless, bright-eyed. I got this Fender hat on, man. This is the most exciting time of my life for me. So I get up to BB. And he was unbelievably cool. He was the coolest. This guy could have been an ambassador for just how people should be, good human faith and how you should be. So he shook my hand, and he signed my poster, and he signed my cousin's poster. And he noticed that, I was wearing a Fender hat, and I was pretty young. And so he started talking to me about guitar and music. And he said, "Why don't you boys sit here on the bench in the back of the bus with me while they bring these people on? I'll sign their autographs, and in between me signing autographs, I'll talk to you guys a little bit." So we thought this was the coolest thing ever. So they're bringing people on. He'd sign autographs and talk to them, and was just so patient and kind and just amazing. And in between groups, he'd turn over and he'd look to us and he'd talk to us, and he'd talk to us about doing good in school and learning how to play rhythm guitar and church and just overall good stuff, just positive messages. And this was 1993, so the groups keep getting on and off, and we were on there for probably about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. And one of the last groups goes to get on the bus, and there's this lady that's dressed like one of the ladies from Wayne's World, like Tia Carrera, where she had hairspray, did her bangs up, and she had poofy rock and roll hair, and very, very beautiful lady. And so it's her turn to get up and talk to BB, and when she does, he's just such a smooth fellow. He goes to write on there, and he says, "Listen, I would write Love BB on here, but I don't want your husband or your boyfriend to get angry." And she says, "BB, I don't have a husband or a boyfriend." And about that time, he says, "Well, sit down." And he looked at me and my cousin, and he says, "All right, boys, I'll see you later." And about that time, his handler said, "This way, boys." And we left. But it was an awesome night, man. It was the most fantastic, inspiring night of my life. And I'll always remember that. That's my gig story. Hey, I'm Damon, and this is Gig Stories from Fowler's Garage. If you like the content, please hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and a share.